Hi, my name is Kirsten Nuss, and I am a 5-star premier Beachbody coach. I recently left my job in November to work Beachbody full time. I started working as a Beachbody coach part time while I worked full time as an occupational therapist. It took me about 2 years to build my business to an income that was equal and quickly thereafter, now better, than my income as an occupational therapist. So I wanted to make this video and tell you a little bit about how I was able to go from working as a full-time therapist, doing Beachbody only part-time, and then in turn building my business enough to make it a full-time income and being able to have the freedom to leave that job and be a full-time Beachbody coach. So the first thing that you need to do is determine your why. Why are you a Beachbody coach? What is it that you want to accomplish? Why are you doing this? What is that deep burning desire in your soul that almost makes you cry when you think about it? Why are you doing this? For me, it started just as a hobby. I wanted to help others, and I really just wanted to keep myself accountable. When I started as a coach, I was a new therapist, and I really loved what I was doing. I did not think that I would be making this a full-time job. But after a few months and seeing the potential of what this business could become, and looking at coaches that had been in it longer than I had and had more success than me, I could see the freedom they were experiencing, and soon I wanted that. So, once you determine your why, it's time for you to formulate your goals. What income do you need to bring in with Beachbody to be able to leave your full-time job? And what's a realistic date that you can make that happen? It's so important that you make that measurable and specific and give it a date so that you have something that you're working towards on a daily basis. And then you just put your head down and go. I want to give you some quick tips before I go into what my days look like. First, do not compare yourself to others. It can be very easy to fall into this because you are seeing what other people are doing, and maybe they're moving their business faster than you, but you have a different journey. You have a different story. You have different hours in a day that you can put into this business, and you have a different why. Everything is different. So you cannot compare yourself to others. If you put your head down and go and put your blinders on and focus on your goals and what you need to do on a daily basis, you will get there. Number 2, make sure that you have a strong, positive support system in place. There are going to be times when it's tough because you feel like you're working a lot, and sometimes it feels like you're not moving, your business is not moving. So you want to make sure you have those people in your life that are keeping things positive and keeping you moving in the right direction. For me, it was my coworkers. They knew what my goals were, and they kept me positive, and they knew that I wanted to do Beachbody full time. So they really supported me in that. Also, my upline sponsor was very supportive on my entire journey, and still is, as my coach. But she kept me very positive. She kept me moving in the right direction. When I did have tough days, she reminded me of what my why was, and reminded me to put those blinders on, and reminded me to stop comparing my journey to everyone else. Number 3, when you feel burnout, it's time to take a step back. And what I like to say is refill your giving tank. As a therapist, I was working 40 hours a week, giving my heart and soul to my patients. After work and before work, I would come home and give my heart and soul to my customers and my coaches. And over time, that would wear on me if I didn't let myself refill that giving tank and take a step back. So it was nice because I did have that upline support, and she reminded me of that. And it's okay to take a step back, take a day off. For me, it was about every 6 weeks. I really needed to just take a day off from work and step back, and the next day I would be fine. Number 4, attend any and all events. This is super important. So you want to get to every Super Saturday that you can get to. You want to get to any sort of networking event, maybe your team does or your upline does. Just stay really connected with your team. There's also corporate trainings that happen around the country. You want to get to the annual coach summit. You want to be a part of the leadership retreats once you qualify for those. I also had the opportunity to get together with coaches on my team, and we would run obstacle course races about once a month. And that was a lot of fun to gather with people that were like-minded as me and work towards a challenging goal. And we had a lot of fun in the process. And all those things would keep my fire for this business ignited and my passion for being a coach going strong. It made me keep believing in this and that this was what I wanted. I was able to continue to see what other successful coaches were doing, and I was able to talk with them and get tips from them. But most importantly, I was able to see that this was possible for me too, as long as I kept going. And getting to those events is really what kept me going. Number 5, plug into the National Wake Up Call every single week and plug into your weekly team calls. There's no excuses with this. I did this consistently every single week. I did not listen to the National Wake Up Call live because I was at work. So what I did was download the podcast, and I would listen to it on my way to and from work every Tuesday. My team calls were in the evening, so I was able to plug into those every single week. It's so important for you to be able to plug into those because you're learning so much more about the business on a weekly basis. About 2 hours a week, you're just doing intense Beachbody training. And with the National Wake Up Call, it's really exciting because you get to listen to coaches all through the network. And they may do things a little bit differently than what your team does, but you're able to take little tidbits of information from each call. Also, what I really liked was at the beginning of the call, there are announcements. And at the end of the call, Jeff Hill always gives you that last bit of motivation and support and inspiration to go out and have your best week. And that was something that I really needed. And I really need that constant positive affirmation in my life on a daily basis. So listening to those calls every week really made that happen for me. Also, on our weekly team calls, we celebrated accomplishments and recognition, and I wanted my name up there. I wanted to be an Emerald coach. I wanted to be honored as a Diamond coach. I wanted to be in Success Club. I wanted to be recognized on those calls. I wanted to be asked to be speakers on those calls. So it was really important for me to plug in. And when I plugged in every week, that also motivated me to keep going with my business so that I could reach those milestones. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how did I do it? How did I fit all of this stuff, working 40 hours a week and do coaching part-time? So first, what you want to do is you want to sit down weekly and create your plan. And in that plan, you want to include, what time of day are you going to work out? When will you do your personal development? When will you do your power hour? So for me, the beginning of my business looked a little bit like this. I would go to work from 8 to 5 p.m. And usually in the evening, I'd come home and relax for a couple hours. 2 days a week, I was running a fit club. So that was when I did my workout. And a lot of times that's when I would do my invites and do my networking. Monday nights, we had a dream team call. So I'd get on that call at 9. And then from 10 to 11 p.m., I would work on my power hour. And I'll talk a little bit more about the power hour later. But I made sure that I did that power hour every day. And I stayed up until it was complete. So if I didn't have Fit Club, a lot of my power hour was completed during that time as well. So as my business began to grow, my schedule looked a little bit more like this. I was up at 5 and I would check in, send out a couple messages, and follow up with any messages I had for about 30, 45 minutes. I would get my workout done and I would go to work. On my way to work, I would listen to personal development. On my way from work is when I would try to get on the calls with my coaches. I also would bring my laptop and I would do about an hour of check-ins from 12 to 1, or any follow-ups that I needed to do, or if I needed to talk with my coaches, I may schedule a call during my 12 to 1 lunch hour. I still came home and gave myself some time to relax between those 5 to 7 hours after work. And then usually from 8 to 10 or 8 to 11, I did my power hour, I did my team calls, I did any coach calls that I had, and I would make sure that everything was done before I went to bed the next night, or that night, sorry. So a couple quick tips with that as my schedule got busier. I did my personal development in the car. I did my coach calls in the car. I did group coach calls. So I didn't always have time to get on the phone with every single one of my personally sponsored coaches. So I would group them together. If they were accountability partners, or if they were kind of in a similar place in the business, we would have 2 to 3 people on a call. And that really helped and maximized my time. So what I was doing is just taking every free moment that I had of downtime or drive time, a little bit of free time here and there, just to maximize my time to get what I needed to get done for my Beachbody business. I also made sure that I was posting 3 times a day. Typically that looked like a morning post, which was usually my workout, an afternoon lunch or late afternoon post, and then an evening post. And I always tried to post at least one post was about workout, fitness, or something Beachbody related, something inspirational, unrelated to Beachbody, and then something personal that was going on in my life. So I wanted to just give you guys what my power hour looks like. And if you'd like, I have a document that I can share with you if you want to see it. I print it out and have it above my desk and look at it on a daily basis. So you want to add 2 new people to your Facebook page every day. You want to connect with 5 people from your networking list, reconnect with or build new relationships, and nothing is said about Beachbody. You want to send out, and that is where you're going to be forming people, and you guys all know what that means, but just reconnecting, forming relationships with people. 3, you're going to send out 2 new invites every day. Now, if you have goals of reaching SC10 or higher, then you want to double or triple that number on a daily basis. 4, you want to check in with your challenge groups, respond to your messages, check the online office for new information, news, message any new customer leads that you have, connect with your coaches, see how they're doing, check on your team page and engage on your team page. Check any coach training, complete any assignments that you need to complete in there, check in with your new coaches, and schedule any posts for tomorrow that are going to add value. So, and the last thing I want to say is just these were the non-negotiables that were in my head every day. And this was, SC5 every single month. That was a non-negotiable. If I knew that if I wanted to build my business, that was the benchmark, the minimum benchmark that I needed to hit in order for that. And if you do all these other things, if you do the 3 vital behaviors, which I was doing on a daily basis, if you do your personal development every day, which is part of those 3 vital behaviors, you will hit Success Club 5 every month. I consistently posted 3 to 5 times a day. That was a non-negotiable. And I always ran at least 1 challenge group a month, every single month, in order to build my business. So as you can see, yes, it was busy and it took time, and there were definitely days where I wasn't sure that I could do it. But I will tell you, if you put your blinders on, if you put your head down and go and simply just follow the things that I told you in this video, you too will be able to build your business to a full-time income. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. Thanks.